This is a directed net, which means please only key up your mic when asked to do so. The order, we're going to take new callers first. People who have never checked into the TechNet before. You may have been on the system, but you never checked into the TechNet. And we'd like to give you that opportunity. Then we'll send it up north to Kevin, VE3BZ, see what he's got on the swap and shop. And then we'll take general questions, ham-related technical questions. We do have a question for everybody tonight. It's from my personal experience. It's what was the last piece of ham equipment you misplaced? I know I lost a microphone, and I was about 6 or 8 months. But at any rate, if you have never been on the TechNet before and would like to check in with us, please come with your call sign.
Hey, Scott. Good evening. W2 AJV.
Montgomery, Glenn.
KC3ZLR from Glen Burnie, Maryland. This is Eva, KC3ZLR.
All right, let me pick it up there for a moment. W2AJV, Anthony, you have been in the TechNet before. It shows you've been in 3 times, so we're just going to ask you to wait for the general check-ins. And the same thing with Eva, KC3ZLR in Glen Burnie. You've been in here a couple times, so we're going to ask you if you would wait till general check-ins to check in. We had a couple stations out of Texas. One was a guy named Clint. If you could come back with your call sign, please, I'd appreciate it.
That was Kilo Oscar 6, Charlie Papa November, Glen, Montgomery, Texas.
And you have been on the TechNet before, Glenn. I'm going to ask you to wait. Who was in there from College Station, Texas?
Whiskey Niner, Tango Lima Papa.
Kind of scratchy. It sounded like W9TLB, but try it one more time and give me your call sign twice.
You had it right. It's Tango Lima Papa, Whiskey Niner, Tango Lima Papa.
Okay, what name can we use for that? Because it's coming up as Tim.
Yes, this is a new vanity sign. It is Tim.
Alrighty, Tim. Yeah, they must not have it. They must not have it logged in there yet. Who else do we have? Never been on the TechNet before. We'll get back to you in a moment there, Tim. Who else do we have? Never been on the TechNet before. Please come with your call sign twice, please.
Kilo to Mike Papa Bravo. That's Kilo to Mike Papa Bravo. Jane in Vermontville.
Kilo Charlie 1, Hotel Golf Victor. Kilo Charlie 1, Hotel Golf Victor, Chuck in Poultney, Vermont.
All right, we'll hold it up there for a moment. We got you there, Chuck, KC1HGV, and we got Jane and we got Tim. Let's go to Tim, out there in College Station, I believe it is, W9TLP. Good evening, and what was the last piece of ham equipment you misplaced? Tim, are you still with us there, W9TLP? Moving right along, let's go to Jane, K2MPB in Vermontville, New York. Good evening, Jane.
Evening. K2MPV. The last piece of ham equipment that I lost is one of my signal stick antennas.
Well, did you eventually end up finding it, Jane?
Yet I'm still searching crevices in the car.
Well, good luck, and you'll have to come back and let us know here when you do find it, where you found it. And just a note, Jane, if you make your email public on QRZ, we get you out a welcome letter. You can see what the East Coast Reflector is all about, and it's got a ton of information on the website at eastcoastreflector.com. So welcome to the TechNet, and have yourself a good week, and thanks for stopping by. Let's go to KC1HGV, Chuck in Poultney, Vermont. Good evening, Chuck, and welcome.
Yeah, good evening, Scott and everyone else on the net and listening. Had to wait for the tones to drop there. Yeah, nothing major for me, I don't believe, that I can remember anyway, but I'm going to say the shrink tubing stuff there for trying to build coaxial cables. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So thank you very much for picking me up, and back to net control.
Alrighty, heat shrink it is. And thanks for joining us and stopping by, and don't be a stranger. Alrighty, who else do we have out there that's new to the East Coast Reflector TechNet? You've never checked into this net before. You may have been on the system, but you just have never stopped by and talked with us before. Please come with your call sign twice.
So, Mike 7, Golf X-Ray Uniform, KM7GXU, Joe, Beaverton, Oregon.
Mike 0, 50 kilo, Bravo 0. Name is Bob, location just south of Hobart in Tasmania. And I don't think I've logged on to the net before. Alrighty, we'll hold it up there for a while. VK7BS. And Bob, you were here once before. So we're just going to have to ask you to wait till general check-ins tonight. Unless, of course, you have a question, then you can come in during the question period. And let's go to KM7 GXU, Joseph in Beaverton, Oregon. Good evening and welcome to the TechNet. KM7 GXU, Joseph, are you still with me?
Yes, sir. This is KM7GXU. I am pretty new. I've had my call sign for about a week now, so I can't say that I've lost any ham equipment yet.
Well, that's good. And I can reassure you that you most likely will at some point. But thanks for joining us tonight, Chuck, and don't be a stranger. There's a few of you from Beaverton come in here once in a while. And it's always a pleasure to have you. With that, this is WT. Let's take some more new check-ins. You've never joined us on the TechNet. Please come with your call sign twice.
Kilo Juliet 5, Quebec Charlie. Kilo Juliet 5, Quebec Charlie, transmitting from Spring, Texas.
Alrighty, we got you here, Darshan, down in Spring, Texas, KJ5QQC. Good evening and welcome to the East Coast Reflector TechNet. And what was the last piece of ham equipment you misplaced?
I have yet to misplace anything. I'm also a couple of weeks new to having my call sign and been involved in a couple of nets and super excited and think I've caught the bug.
Welcome to Amateur Radio. I'm glad you stopped by with us. If you make your email public as well, you'll get a welcome letter from us, and you can go to eastcoastreflector.com and learn all about the system, the many ways to get into it. All of our nets, the newsletters there, the new newsletter just came out. And don't be a stranger. Stop back, and if you have technical questions, the next portion of this net is a question and answer. You get answers to most any question usually. But you gave yourself a fine evening, and thanks for stopping by. Alrighty, do we have anyone else out there new to the system? Don't be shy. You just got your license or whatever. Come say hello.
For Mike Sierra Alpha Mobile, VK4 Mike Sierra Alpha Mobile, Townsville, North Queensland, name of Mike.
That VK4 station. Could you give me that call sign one more time, please?
And Victor Kilo 4 Mike Sierra Alpha. That's Victor Kilo 4 Mike Sierra Alpha. The name is Mike here.
Mike, you came up red. You have been in here before. We're just going to ask you to stand by for a little while for the general check-ins. Is there anybody that has never been on this TechNet before? Please come with your call sign twice.
That's okay. K9.
Alrighty, we'll hold it up there. K9, okay. Pat in Northbrook, Illinois. Good evening, Pat, and welcome to the TechNet. And like I've been asking everybody so far, what was the last piece of ham equipment you misplaced, if you have? And DJ. K9XOK, are you still with me, Pat? Pat, K9XOK, are you still with me? Moving right along. Let's go down to N8AGJ, Rock in Lima, Ohio. Good morning. Good morning. Good evening. N8AGJ, Rock, are you with us? With nothing heard. Who else we have out there new to the system like to join us on the TechNet tonight? Please come with your call sign twice.
KCPL, KK7CPL.
Alrighty, let me hold up here, take it back for a moment. Was that KK7 CTL? Is this out in Arizona?
That's KK7CPL, Kilo 7, Charlie Papa Lima.
That's better, Jeffrey. Good evening and welcome to the TechNet. And what was the last piece of ham equipment you lost, if you've lost any yet?
At my age, I think of every piece of ham equipment I've ever had, but eventually it turns up.
Alrighty, Jeffrey. Shows you out in Glendale, Arizona. I hope it's cool enough for you folks out there. And thanks for joining us. And don't be a stranger. We're here every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. If you have any questions, come on back in the next portion and we'll answer anything you got. Do we have any more new users to the TechNet you've never checked in? Please come with your call sign twice. This is the last call for new users. Please come now.
EJ4 POM, that's Kilo Juliet 4, Papa Mike.
Alrighty, then we got KJ4 POM, Michael in Boca Raton, Florida. Good evening, Michael, and what was the last piece of ham equipment you misplaced?
I've been just a HT, but I found it. It was this little TYT 380.
Well, I'm glad you found it. Another success story. Thanks for joining us, and stop back again anytime. Love to have you. Alrighty, folks, that's going to do it for the new portion. We're going to send it up north, up to Victoria Harbour, Ontario, Canada, to Kevin, VE3BZ, with anything that he may have on the swap and shop this week. Good evening, Kevin.
Well, good evening, Scott, and good evening to everyone else on the net. This is Kevin V3BZ with tonight's Swap and Shop. It's going to be short and sweet. I just have one listing, and that is a want from Pete, KB2DY in Amityville, New York. Pete's looking for an MFJ 935B or C model loop antenna. If you can help Pete out, just email him at dypete@aol.com. And that's all I have this week. Like always, if you have anything that you would like to list for sale, trade, or want, just email me at ve3bz@rogers.com or go to eastcoastreflector.com, click on Contact ECR and SwapNet submissions. And the question of the night, the only thing I've ever misplaced was a bunch of PL259 connectors that I bought at and I brought them home and I put them somewhere and I couldn't find them. I ended up finding them, but they just weren't where they were supposed to be, I guess. So that's it. Anyway, thanks, Scott. Back to you, VE3BZ.
Alrighty, Kevin, thank you very much. And remind everybody, if you have anything for, to buy, sell, or swap, let us know. And we'll get it on the TechNet here and get it out to folks. Alrighty, this is W2BLT. Now let's take questions. Questions from anybody, anywhere. If you have an amateur-related tech question, please come with your call sign twice.
Kilo 7.
This is Kilo Mike 4, Victor Tango Oscar.
KK7.
I don't have a simple question. Just want to check in and say hi to everybody. Have a good evening. 73 to all.
All right, let's have it. Let me take it for a moment here. The KK7 station. Could you come back, please?
KK7.
Roger.
CTL.
That was KM4
KK7.
PTO.
CTL.
Alrighty. Go ahead with your question there, Jeffrey. I believe it was KK7 PL. What was your question?
Heading to the East Coast Reflector for about a month now. I've tried Fusion, I've tried D-Star, and now I'm DMR. Finally, I've through DMR, I finally got it working, and I've been listening for a while. I had to buy a hotspot and a new radio in the process of getting there, but I finally got there. But no thanks to what AI, ChatGPT, I started asking them about my problems, and he said, "Oh, well, you're on the wrong talk group." He says the talk groups you should be on is 3174 and 4639. So I've been listening to those for a couple of days now when nothing was ever on air. So I reverted back to on the East Coast Reflector site and picked up their talk group numbers, and finally I made it through. So I appreciate being able to hear and talk to you guys now.
Well, let me tell you something there, Jeffrey. If you got a pencil, I'm going to give you a little address to go to on your browser. It'll give you all the connection information you could possibly want. It's ecr.radio/connect. That's ecr.radio/connect. And it will give you all the connection information you want. You can connect directly to our digital bridges and everything, and it should leave you with just what you're looking for.
It's where I get talk group numbers that I'm using now. I'm on 3215714. I also noticed that there's another talk group, 3129973, but I haven't heard anything on that. Over.
When you connect to it, do you key up and then listen? Because if you don't key up, you won't be able to. You got to key up once to hear it.
I've got my dashboard up, and I can see when I key up, and I can see when it's the current caller and everything. The only audio I've heard is on 3215714. I've never heard anything on 3129973. Is that active?
That's the one that you got to key up once, and then it'll be active. But that has been offline off and on lately. It may just be that it's offline. But is there anything else we can help you with? You're sounding good on there.
Oh, that's good. I appreciate that. No, now that I'm talking to you guys and listening to you guys, I'm a happy camper.
That's a good thing. All righty, Jeff, you have a great night. Thanks for joining us. Okay, how about KM4 PTO? Is that a good call sign, KM4 PTO?
Negative. So Mike 4, Victor, Tango Oscar.
Alrighty, Dennis down in Coral Springs, Florida, we got you. What can we do for you this evening? And have you ever lost a piece of ham equipment or misplaced it?
Yeah, right now I'm missing some connectors, but I'll be finding them sooner or later. I know they're in the garage somewhere. Right now, that's what I'm missing. Back to net.
Alrighty, did you have a question for us tonight or no?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to check in. I've been a ham radio operator, 10 years now? I flew off for a little while, and I'm back again, and I want to stay on it and make more contacts. The further, the better. Back to you, man.
Well, I hope you have fun. That's what it's all about, having fun. If you can't have fun, try something different. Alrighty, anybody else with a question out there? Technical related questions, please come with your call sign twice.
Hello again, Scott. Whiskey 2, Alpha Juliet Victor, W2, AJV.
Whiskey 4, Hotel Kilo Lima.
All right, let me pick it up there for a moment. We recognize W4HKL Steve and W2AJV Anthony. Good evening, Anthony, down in Atco, New Jersey. What can we do for you tonight?
Well, good evening, Scott, and good evening to the other check-in, Steve, and good evening to everybody who's checked in on the net. I'm having an interesting problem. I have an M1KE, and there are nodes that the M1KE will connect to if the signal on the Wi-Fi is strong enough. If the signal is not strong enough, there are some nodes, this one in particular, which is the 27339, there are some nodes that it'll keep saying, trying to connect, trying to connect, trying to connect. Eventually it does connect, and it doesn't, like it'll hold it, and then it'll drop off. However, there are other nodes that it'll connect to with absolutely no problem at all. And I can't figure it out. I didn't believe that the signal on the internet would cause problems. I mean, it's either in or it's not in. So maybe you can clarify that for me a little bit. And this happens when I'm on. It never happens when I'm on my home internet. It'll happen if I'm on other Wi-Fi networks, including my cell phone hotspot. So back to net control, W2, AJV.
He's pretty well versed in the connections on M1KE. Go ahead, Vicki.
Yeah, a couple things. First thing it could be is simply that the M1KEs are finicky with Wi-Fi. I can run it off my phone just fine, but it doesn't like my home internet because I have a mesh node on it. So it's weird. The other thing is when it connects to All-Star, it can take a long time to register. Not because the M1KE isn't working, but because All-Star wasn't really meant to be mobile. They're just made to be turned on and left on. So not really quick. It's kind of like rebooting an old computer. Beyond that, Gil might be out there. He might be able to help you out a little bit more. KABKY.
Thank you, Vicki. WJV.
righty, thanks, Anthony. And you'll have to come back and let us know, how everything works out, if that's the case or not. Be interested to know. This is W2BLT, and this is the East Coast Reflector TechNet. Let's go to W4HKL. Steve down in Cumberland Gap, Tennessee. Good evening, Steve.
Evening. I'll answer Don's question first. Actually, I'm not sure I was losing them or whether my ex was just helping me to lose them. But anytime she would find an HT, she would hide it in the dishes cabinet in the kitchen. One day I went in there and I was looking for a particular glass, and there were 3 HTs in the back. So anyway, but that's my answer to the question. I'm gonna let it drop. My question for the net is, I was wondering if anyone listening tonight is using a cellular hotspot for internet at a repeater site. If so, how effective is it? How many nodes do they think they can run on it, and how much is it costing them? Back to Net Control, W4HKL.
Alrighty, well, I can tell you I'm not, Steve. But do we have anybody out there that might be running a cellular hotspot on a repeater? If so, please come with your call sign.
Okay, 4 Fox X-ray Charlie.
K680S.
Alright, we pick it up there. We had K680S Andrew, and we had K4FXC, one of our team members here, David, in Wilmington, North Carolina. Go ahead, David. He was wondering if anybody used a cellular hotspot on a repeater.
Yeah, K4FXC. I have, and I don't currently do it. I have now moved to Starlink, but it certainly will work. The problems or concerns I've had have been basically very high latency and with 5G. I've used T-Mobile and Verizon. Verizon seemed to be a little better than T-Mobile, but both of those had considerable latency and jitter as well, unfortunately. Price per month, I think it was in the $50 a month range, I believe. However, currently I have moved to Starlink in standby mode, which is $10 a month, and that works exceptionally well. For cost-wise and latency and jitter. Of course, you've got a bigger panel, but it's pretty easy to mount and works exceedingly well. So no. That would be my option. I would gravitate toward at this point, K4FXC.
All right, thank you, David. Appreciate your input. K680S, Andrew in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Did you have a comment on?
Yes, I do. I use a hotspot for my IRLP node and my DMR repeaters, and I find the latency to be acceptable. I use T-Mobile, and it goes from like sub 10 milliseconds up to about 50 to 80 milliseconds, depending on the region I'm in. The only difficulty that I've had was that sometimes, like with IRLP, you got to do port forwarding, and on a mobile hotspot or a phone hotspot, a lot of them don't support that. So using a VPN can get around that very easily, and so on. But it does work, but you got to balance your cost versus accessibility and so on. Otherwise, the other gentleman covered all the other things I was going to say. So appreciate it. Happy to chip in. K680S.
All right, thank you, Andrew. We appreciate your input. And Steve, does that help you a bit?
Yes, it does. I would like to thank K680S and David KF for FXC. I would like to ask permission to go direct with David for just a second, if that's okay with Ned.
Sure, go ahead.
David, I've got a All-Star Mini, and you said $10 a month. Are you using it on the standby mode to actually, connect? That would be awesome if that's the case. And if so, are you having to do anything with your? I can't think of the name of them. Anyway, the protocols that that use compression for the audio. How are you doing that for $10 a month? Back to you, W4HKL.
Yeah, K4FX. I'm able to use any of the protocols. I'm using the standard size panels, and I see about a megabit down, unmetered. So it works with any of the protocols. As for how many different nodes it would support at one time, probably at least 5 or 6. In the scenario where I'm using it right now, I'm testing with All-Star, and there's also a DMR system running, connecting into a C-bridge. Both of those are running, on it just fine in standby mode, with plenty of bandwidth to spare. So it's remarkably easy to get set up. The main caveat is that I found is you need any parameters that are specific that you want to set, like network, etc. Get that set before you put it in standby mode, because you can't adjust any of that once it is in standby mode. So set it up, then put it in standby. Or if you wanted to just take it as it is, you can make sure you're in standby mode before you actually bring the dish up, and then it will start out at $10 a month. But it works really well in my experience. Okay.
David, I appreciate it, and that did answer my question. Back to Net Control, W4HKL.
Thanks for joining us, Steve, and I even found that interesting, and I'm not a techie. Alrighty, who else do we have with a question out there? Please call me the call sign twice and slowly.
Is the frequency in use?
Yes, the frequency is in use. There's a net going on. Alrighty, do we have anyone else in there looking to join us tonight? Please call me the call sign twice and slowly with your question.
Is the frequency in use?
Yes, the frequency is in use. There is a net going on. Is there anybody with a question out there? Any ham-related question? Please come now.
Yes, this is KJ4POM, and I had a question.
Well, all right there, Michael. You go right ahead and ask your question.
It's related to CW. I don't know how many CW guys we have out there, or ladies, but the question I was going to ask is if anyone has any experience using the Bengali keys or those other keys from that fellow up north. I'm trying to think of his name right now. He has some really good magnetic keys up there.
Well, from experience. I do have a Bengali, but it's a straight key. It's a Bengali Spark, and it's a very, very, very heavy. It doesn't move around, and it works beautiful if you're just straight keying. I'm not a master at straight keying by any means, but it's good to use. They're good keys. Any avid CW operators want to chime in and answer the question? Please come with your call sign.
Doesn't seem like there's too many out there, Scott. So I appreciate the effort for asking that. There's another fella up north, and he's over at all the handset. He sells his magnetic keys that he makes. And I just had his page up not too long ago. Can't remember. Something ZN3. And he's a real nice fella. And he makes those other keys. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about.
No, I'm not familiar, but I'll put it out there one more time. Anybody familiar with what he's talking about as far as the key is concerned? I don't hear anything there, Michael, but yeah, if you got a Bengali, you're going to do okay with it. There's a lot of keys out there. I only use a few of them, but they're a lot of fun. Have a good evening. Alrighty, folks, this is going to be the last call for questions. Last call for questions on the TechNet tonight. Please come with your call sign twice.
At 0CKV. At 0CKV.
Kilo Charlie 1, Hotel Golf Victor. Kilo Charlie 1, Hotel Golf Victor.
All right. This is W2BLT. We had KC1HGV Chuck, and up here we have N0CKV Mark in Plymouth, Minnesota. Good evening, Mark. What was the last piece of ham equipment that you misplaced? And then give us your question, please.
Well, I think like you, it was a speaker microphone. And I did find it finally. It was packed away in the garage. And let me reset it. I have a realistic DX440 and a Grundig G4000A shortwave receivers that are deaf on any of the bands with the whip antennas. Is that standard for that type of quality of a receiver? These are pretty cheap receivers. The reason I ask is Radiodity's come out with a pretty fancy receiver, and I'm wondering if I've had the same experience.
Well, are these both shortwave receivers?
Yes, along with AM and FM.
Well, I can speak to the Grundig, and I've had a couple Grundigs, neither of which I considered were cheap radios, and they worked very good back 20 years ago. But I found lately that I'm finding less and less shortwave radio broadcasts, to be honest with you. And I have a little portable one now. It's a little Sangean, and I hook a wire up to it. I don't know, about 20, 30 foot long, and just drape it back and forth in the attic where I am here now in my shack. And I can get whatever is out there, but it's very, very tough, and especially during the summer with the way propagation is and stuff, I don't get a whole lot on it, but I would think that they would both receivers. I haven't seen the new receiver that you're talking about. Who makes it?
Radiodity.
I'm not sure about that. Is there anyone out there who would like to give Mark any answers there on the shortwave radiodity radio? Please come with your call sign.
N0MSS.
Good evening, Ross. Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess my I would say a resonant antenna on whatever frequency you're using is going to be far better than just a long wire or a loop or a piece of wire or random length. I don't remember you saying what kind of antennas you were using on it, so having a good antenna that's resonant for the frequency is going to make it a lot stronger signal than something just random. So maybe try that for all your radios. And N0MSS.
Alrighty, thank you, Ross. Appreciate you checking in with us there. And Ross, before you go, what was the last piece of ham equipment that you lost or misplaced?
Well, let's see. I think it was I bought a high gain Ballon for a beam at the Hamfest in Fargo last year, and I put it in a box, and now I can't find the box. So that would be it. My Ballon for my beam. And N0MSS back to net.
Hey, Ross, good luck finding that. Appreciate you stopping by tonight. Does that answer your question there pretty much, Mark?
Well, unfortunately, I have nowhere to put an antenna, and I'm too old to be crawling around in my attic anymore. So I'm kind of screwed. But that's about what I expected the answers would be. It's all dependent on the antenna. The things were just deaf on field day.
I imagine they were. Alrighty, Mark, thanks for joining us and appreciate the question. The last question for the night, KC1HGV, Chuck, Poldy, Vermont. Good evening.
Good evening out there. Yeah, my question is northern Vermont and northern New York may be getting some severe weather tonight, so which made me think of emergency communications. So my question is, because I don't have the real estate for 80-meter antennas, 40-meter NVIS or NIVIS, whatever you want to call it, I'm wondering what people do for that. I've done about 20 feet in the air with a vertical inverted V, and it seems to work pretty good. I'm looking for about the 100-mile range and beyond, but minimum of 100. So that's within the state there. So I'm just curious what everybody's suggestions would be for height, and if they do it parallel with the ground, and if they put a wire underneath it or an emergency blanket or something to that effect. So I'd appreciate any input on that. I And thank you, and back to Net Control. This is KC1HGV.
Alrighty, Chuck. I don't think I'd be much help on that. Is there anyone who would like to chime in on that, on Chuck's antenna question? Please come with your call sign twice.
K4FXC.
Go ahead, David.
Hi, good evening again. And I'll answer the question for the night. The last thing that I lost that I was looking for was a PTT foot switch for field day that was in the bottom of a bag, and I had overlooked it about 3 or 4 times. If it was a snake, it would have got me. So, but I did finally find it. Reset. You wanted to get out about 100 miles, or in the ballpark of 100 miles, or in something of very short range like that. Well, first off, 40 meters is probably not going to be the best band for that. 80 would be, particularly at night. In the afternoons, you'd probably be all right with 40 meters, but certainly now at the top of the sunspot cycle, 40 meters is going to go long pretty quickly, and 100 miles is going to be a pretty short skip for 40 meters, and you're going to be getting out further than that. So, I mean, if you're particularly trying to go for short range, I would say 75, 80 meters would be the band I would try most, and even in you get it as high as you can, up to maybe 40 or 50 feet. Don't say just because you want to go short range it needs to be low. As it's low, the inefficiency, it gets more and more inefficient as it gets closer into the ground, meaning that your transmitted signal gets weaker and weaker, basically. So I would load it's just a wire. If you can get enough wire for 40 meters, you can also make it work on 75, 80 just by tuning it properly with a counterpoise. And I would think that would give acceptable performance out to miles on 75 or 80 meters, as long as it's not too noisy that night. I have done that and have had success. Just be aware that it is going to be a pretty weak signal. K4FXC.
Alrighty, thank you, David. How does that sound, Chuck? Does that answer your question pretty well?
Yeah, pretty well does. Yeah, I've had limited success on 40 meters, but it was months ago, of course. The sunspot stuff has changed, so yeah, that changes things up a little bit. Yeah, I hear all kinds of different opinions on it, so I never know which one to go with. I've tried it, like I said, about 20 feet in the air and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, we'll give the other spot a try with some other people here in Vermont. We'll give it a shot and see how it goes. So I appreciate all the help and enjoyed the TechNet, and I'll send it back to Net Control. This is KC1HGV, and I shall be on the side.
K4FXC, another comment.
Sure, go ahead, David.
Yeah, mention that you can go to the website websdr.org, Whiskey Echo Bravo Sierra Delta Radio, websdr.org, and on that list you can find a huge number of internet available receivers that are scattered around the world. Go find some that are in your neighborhood in the United States that cover the bands you're interested in, and you can tune them to your frequency and then listen to how your signal is sounding where they are. And that can be very eye-opening. Then you could go try, for example, 40 meters and try 80 meters and see how it compares. We did this just the other night with some friends, and he was testing a new antenna. And I was listening to his signal from the southeastern North Carolina area up on a SDR up northeastern Pennsylvania. And he was watts running about maybe S9 plus 15 or 20 on 75 meters, and this was early evening. Versus 40 meters, he was just barely above the noise. So that's a wonderful tool that you can use to test your own signal with. WebSDR.org, and you can go select. There are a bunch of different links on there to receivers around the world, which you can check out. K4FX.
Thanks, David. I never thought about that. You know, I mean, I have used the WebSDR, I believe the same one that you're talking about, on the 40 meter net sometimes here, and it works just fine. I can hear myself, you know, or I can hear the other people when I can't hear them on my radio because of a noise level or something. But, alrighty, David, thank you. And thanks, Chuck. You have a great evening. That's going to do it for this portion. This is Scott BLD, and I'm Roger, KO4 QMM, and he'll take general check-ins. And everybody have a great evening.
Well, thank you, Mr. Scott, and Vicky Logging, KABKY. Thanks, Scott, for filling in for the Godfather. Hopefully we'll hear his friendly voice back here soon. And welcome, everybody, to this evening's East Coast Reflector Tuesday Night TechNet. If you're new here, just listening, check out eastcoastreflector.com. You'll see what we're all about. We have a lot of different nets, a Zoom room, and have a lot of fun. So thanks for joining us tonight. We got a real simple question tonight. What was the last piece of ham equipment you misplaced? For me, it's pretty easy. I misplace my handy talks all the time. The last time I couldn't find it, it was on my bicycle and the battery was dead on my electric bike. And there has been other times too. Stand by. And if I didn't mention it, this is Roger, KO4QMM in Central Florida. I'll be the net controller for the rest of the evening. And as always, I start out with the text check-ins, and then we'll do generals and mobiles and such. Let me start at the bottom here. KD6CWI, Ruben, N7FGP, Scott, KQ4GWO, William, K6ADS, Andrew, KC3ZLR, Eva, W2RBC, Randy, KE2IPJ, Dean, K6AAN, Mike, KABYU, Roy, WA2UUS, Joel, KK4SED, Les, KD2JPP, Bob, Gallatin, Tennessee. It's up to you, Bob. You're at the top of the list. What was the last piece of ham equipment you misplaced? Over.
Hey, good evening, Roger, and everybody else on the TechNet tonight. The only piece of ham equipment I seem to have misplaced is it's an ICOM UHF DHF, but I'm sure it'll show up eventually. Thank you, Roger. Hope everybody stays safe, has a great week, and I'll send it back to net control.
Thanks for joining us, Bob, as always, and you sound good. Les, Claremont, Florida, KK4SED. Good evening, Les.
That's here in Claremont, Florida, 81 degrees. Yeah, I lost the microphone, believe it or not. When I went out to work in the field, somebody borrowed it for an hour or so, never saw it again. KK4SED,
We got microphone, Les. We'll put you with Scott. He lost his microphone for almost a year there. Thanks for joining us, and you had quite the hum on there. Joel, Buffalo, WA2UUS. Good evening, Joel. Joel, Buffalo, New York, WA2UUS. You there, Joel? Might have had a delivery. KBYU. Roy, you there this evening?
Good evening, everybody on the TechNet, KABYU. Well, the last thing I've misplaced is a torque set and my precision screwdriver set. So those are two things that I haven't found.
since I moved over here.
Well, I guess you can use those for fixing ham radio. We'll let you go on there, Roy. Thanks for joining us this evening. Mike, Valley Springs, California, K6AAN. Good evening, Mike. What was the last piece of ham equipment you misplaced? Over.
Oh, hello, Roger, and good evening to everybody. The last piece of equipment I was doing the crawl for was a stub antenna for my node. I put it in a real safe place up on a kind of a dark shelf, and it was hiding up there for months until I finally found it again and bought another one in the meantime, of course. You know how that goes. Anyway, back to net control. Have a great evening, everyone. This is K6AAN.
Right. I refuse to take my expensive handy talks out to the garage because you never know where I end up. Sometimes listening to the morning brew, I hook it up to the underneath of the hood of the car or something and listen, and I forget about it. And oh my goodness. Thanks for joining us, Mike. Let's move on to Dean, New York, KE2IPJ. Good evening, Dean. What was the last piece of ham equipment you replaced or misplaced? Are you there, Dean? KE2IPJ. Well, we'll put you down for in and out. My buddy Randy's there. I'm thinking we're W2RBC, one of our team members. Good evening, Randy.
Good evening, Roger, Vicky, and everyone on the TechNet. The only piece of ham equipment that I misplaced was a tiny SA spectrum analyzer. After several months, I found it in a nano VNA box. Back to net control, 73 to all, W2, RBC.
A little bit of mislabeling going on there, or putting it in the wrong box. Thanks for joining us, Randy. Have a good evening. This is KO4QMM Roger in sunny Central Florida. K6 or KC3 ZLR Eva, Glen Burnie, Maryland. Good evening, Eva.
Hello, this is KC3ZLR on the TechNet. And to answer the question, yes, I actually have lost some ham radio equipment while I was watching the Blue Angels airplane routine. My antenna on my quash and unscrewed, and as soon as I was on the bus, I realized that the antenna fell off. So yeah, this is KC3ZLR, and thank you for having me on the TechNet.
Wow, that's pretty cool there. The Blue Angels thing, I guess you'll always remember you lost that antenna. And it's hard to replace when you don't have one with you. Thanks, Eva, for joining us. You sound good tonight. And Andrew from Glen Burnie, Maryland, K6ADS. Good evening.
Good evening, and thank you for having us. Appreciate you getting my daughter in there, K6ADS here. Well, I have lost, and I've had equipment stolen and so on, but I'll just keep it to the most recent. As I went to a field day, and I accidentally left one of my cheaper handhelds. The great people there, they reminded me, they messaged me, emailed me, saying, hey, you left a radio. But it was just one of those cheap radios, and so I said, hey, if there's need, how about I just donate it to your club? Don't bother mailing it to me, et cetera, et cetera. But over the years, I've had equipment stolen and lost and so on, but I've been a ham for like 30 years. So, but I'm pretty good about keeping track of my equipment. Back to net control. Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us this evening, Andrew and Eva. You guys have a wonderful evening. William, Wake Forest, North Carolina, KQ4GWO. Good evening, William. What was the last piece of ham equipment you misplaced?
Thank you, Net Control. This is Kilo Quebec Whiskey Oscar, William from beautiful Wake Forest, North Carolina. It would be my sander adapter for my drill bit. Pretty much when I want to kind of run some ground scraps or something to that effect, I always use my sander, but I had an adapter. I couldn't find it. It took me months. And I was cleaning out one of my storage tanks one day, and boom, there it goes. So I can continue to ground out my mobile. Doing a great job. Have a super fine evening. This is Kilo Quebec for Golf Whiskey Oscar. William around beautiful, beautiful Wake Forest, North Carolina. 73, y'all.
Oh yeah, ended up being a good thing there, William, and I agree with our weather too here. We're 74 degrees, mostly cloudy. We had some rain today. Man, we're cooler than a lot of places up north, so enjoying that. You have a good evening, William. Scott, Jamestown, New York, one of our net controllers here, N7FGP. Good evening, Scott.
Good evening, Roger, Vicky, Scott. I can't find the cradle to charge my FT5D. I've looked everywhere. I know it's around here. It's just in a box somewhere. Thanks for doing the net.
Well, it'll be all new to you when you find it again. I heard your net went well last night, too, so that'll be something everybody will be looking forward to. What is that, Monday night? 9 o'clock, I do believe. 9 o'clock p.m. it starts, something around there, so check it out. This is KO4QMM Roger. You're listening to the East Coast Reflector Tuesday Night TechNet every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. We got Ruben up next, Fallbrook, California, KD6CWI. Good evening, Ruben.
And thank you for doing the net. And it's a pleasure to be here, KD6CWI. Ruben in Fallbrook, North County, San Diego, doing the hike in the neighborhood, attacking 3rd Hill right now as we speak. As for the question on the net, I've been trying to look for my Smiley stainless steel telescopic 2-meter antenna. That's one of the items that, with all the stuff that I have, I'm having a hard time finding it. Also, the tabletop charger for 4 of my Quangchang radio that I put back in the box. Since you can charge it the USB directly to the battery, I needed it on some of the batteries. Instead of charging it with a radio, you can charge it independently, the battery on the table charger. So those 2 items are on top of my list that's missing. And have a wonderful evening, a wonderful net, and as always, stay safe and be healthy, enjoy life. 73 KD6CWI.
You have a good evening too, Ruben. Thanks for joining us. And like I always say, take a break from the world and join us for a while. Last on the list, on the text list here, Bill, Hobbs, New Mexico, KI5PMI. Good evening, Bill. And what was the last piece of ham equipment you misplaced? Over.
Good evening, Roger, and everybody on the net. Right now, I have not misplaced any ham stuff. I'm sure that will change at some point, though. Hope everybody has a good night. KI5PMI, back to net.
Well,
Well, you're doing pretty good there, Bill. Thanks for joining us, as you have many times. We always appreciate it. And that's it for that list. Now we'll do several check-ins, mobiles, in and outs, and try to break them up so Miss Vicky can get them in on the log. Come with your call sign twice and slow.
CYF, November 4, Charlie, Yankee, Foxtrot.
Whiskey Alpha 9 Zulu Papa Mike, WA9Z PM, Crestwood outside Chicago, Illinois.
W2KJV, W2KJV.
AFA, DRC, in and out.
KE8WMI, KE8WMI, Perrysburg, Ohio, in and out.
N2BH, N2BH.
7 India, Juliet Uniform, from Portland. In and out, please.
N1WEB, N1WEB.
GCT. No GCT. In and out.
N2ZWR. N2ZWR. In and out, please.
Victor Echo 9, Sierra Charlie, in and out.
W4FWN, W4 Foxtrot, Whiskey Nancy, in and out.
Something that sounded like that. Would you come back with your call sign? There was a 2GTT. Something like that. Would you come back with your call sign?
KC2. That's K2 GCT. I'll be in and out.
Was that KC2GCT?
Yes, and I'll be in and out. Thank you. Have a good day.
QSL, you were breaking up pretty bad the first couple times, and we got you there. Thank you. Have a great day. KC2GCT in and out. We got W4FWN Dan, Sanford, Florida. VE9SC in and out. Stephen from Canada. Have a good evening, Stephen. Got Dan. Got N1WEB, my buddy Webb, Collierville, Tennessee. KJ7IJU, in and out. Sean, Portland, Oregon. Have a great evening, Sean. N2BH, Bill, Palmyra, New York. KE8WMI, in and out. James, Perrysburg, Ohio. Have a good evening there, James. KF8DRC, Jack, Rochester, Michigan. Have a good evening there, Jack. WA9ZPM, Mike, Crestwood, Illinois. And top of the list, N4CYF. Fred, Durham, Oregon. Good evening, Fred. And what was the last piece of ham equipment you misplaced?
Equipment that I misplaced was I had a brand new in the box, never used handheld, an inexpensive Baofeng, but
I could never find that box. I've looked high and low. I have no idea where it went. With that said, I have a tech question.
I reckon we're not too busy. Throw it at us.
Send me the G5 RV Junior dipole with the top of it at about 60 feet. I'm wondering for DX purposes whether it's worth my effort to raise the top of the dipole to 110 feet. Does it really, am I going to see much difference in performance?
I don't really think so for myself on an HF. I imagine you're talking there. But I don't know. That would have been a good question for the TechNet just a little while ago. But I'm sure you can go answer that question. As soon as the net's over here, somebody will be probably glad to answer it. But we're rolling through the net here. I just thought it would be something there that I could help you out with. WA9ZPM, good evening, Mike, Crestwood, Illinois. What was the last piece of ham equipment you misplaced?
Okay, well, I don't recall any equipment I've misplaced amateur-wise. A few other things I may have misplaced. Audio equipment, because I work with audio and hi-fi quite a bit. And some tools. There's some tool I had that I could never find. I put it in a box and put it somewhere and never found it. But as far as ham equipment, I haven't misplaced anything. But back to net, this is WA9ZPM.
All right. Vicky got you down for audio. That's crazy one there to misplace. Thanks for joining us, Mike. Tony Homosassa, Florida, W2KJV. Good evening, Tony, one of our team members here at ECR. Tony, Homosassa, Florida, W2KJV is still there, my friend.
Sorry about that, Roger. Yeah, I'm here.
What was the last piece of ham equipment you misplaced?
Let's see, it's a 10-tech antenna tuner. I haven't seen it for 7 years. That's my answer. Back to you, Roger. W2KJB.
It's funny, as soon as you said that, I turned my head back and looked and made sure mine was there. Yep, still there. Haven't used it for a while, and that's a good thing. My SWR has been good. Thanks for joining us. Have a good evening there, Tony. Bill, Palmar, New York, N2BH, one of our net controllers, and keeps us all straight here. Good evening, Bill.
Hey, good evening, Roger, Vicky, Scott, everybody. Kind of like David, probably an adapter, SO239 to NMO, I believe it was. Out at a park, set up with a whole group, and go to put my antenna on the tripod, and couldn't find the adapter. I went through my truck, I went through the backpack, my go bag there, and couldn't find it, so I took things back down. I got home, went through it, and there it was in bottom one of the pockets on the backpack. N2BH.
I see why you remembered that. It'd be like putting my hex beam up and then forgetting I had a part. Oh, boy, yep. Thanks for joining us, Bill. You have a good evening. N1 WEB, my buddy Webb, Calderville, Tennessee. Good evening, Webb.
Good evening, Roger. You are the voice of the 20-meter net as well as the tech net. And thank you, Vicki, for logging. This is just funny. It just happened today. I lost the stylus for my Nano VNA, I think during field day. Well, my wife found it today embedded in the carpet in the camper. So we got that one back, and that barely qualifies as a piece of equipment, but it is what it is. N1 WEB, back to net.
Geez, Webb, I haven't seen shag carpet like that since the 70s. Got eating up your Nano. Have a good evening, and I do have the hex beam set up for Thursday, so I should hear you if you're there. And last on the list here, Dan, Sanford, Florida, W4FWN. Good evening, Dan. You enjoying that cool weather tonight? And what was the last piece of ham equipment you misplaced? Just new listening here. You're listening to the East Coast Reflector Tuesday Night TechNet here every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. And check out eastcoastreflector.com. You'll like what you see, magazine, nets, Zoom room, all kinds of things, and we have a lot of fun. All right, if you want to join us this evening and answer the question of the evening, come with your call sign, twice and slow.
Whiskey 2, Sierra Alpha Lima. Whiskey 2, Sierra Alpha Lima.
K4JAZ. K4JAZ.
KA4JAZ, Alton, Midlothian, Virginia there, K2AP, my buddy Joe, East Lip, New York, and W2SAL, Sal, Cheektowaga, New York. I had to laugh. Vicky put you down as 100. We might as well just go straight to you, Sal. This is your night. Cheektowaga, New York, W2SAL. What was the last piece of ham equipment you misplaced, Sal?
It had to be one of the HD radios I have. I've got enough of them. Oh, I'm playing some banjo in the background to try and drum up some business for you. That's about the best I can come up with. With that, I'll send it back to net control, and thanks to that 100, at least I know you're on my side, Al. Well, that's a different story. W2SAL, back to net control. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Yeah, I hear Al and Jeff having fun with you. Just won't let you get that 100, but Miss Vicky will do it for you, and you know it's over when you hear the banjo music playing. Joe, East Slip, New York, K2AP. Good evening, Joe.
Good evening, Roger and Vicky and everyone on the net. I would have to say the last thing I remember is I lost my RCA receiving tube manual. I've been looking all over everywhere and I cannot find it. I guess you would call that ham related. I'm going to use it for a ham project. But anyway, Roger, always a pleasure hearing you. This is K2AP, back to net.
Why can't it ever ID when you know somebody else is talking? Always wait till they're done talking to ID your call. All right, enough of that. You have a wonderful evening there, and be looking forward to chatting with you Thursday morning, 10 a.m., 14.317, give or take. KA4JD, Alton, Midlothian, Virginia. What was the last piece of ham equipment you misplaced, Alton?
Good evening, everyone on the net. I had sent my son, KF0HCI, a TY 7800, and he didn't have a microphone, so we ordered 2 microphones. Sent me one, I got the microphone, and it's been 4 months, and I don't know where that microphone is. So, there you go. Losing microphones, can't talk if ain't got no mic. KA4JAZ, back to net control.
Yeah, boy, ain't that the truth. Thanks for joining us all, and you have a good evening. All right, we're getting down to the last calls here. Be kind of an early night. Anybody, anywhere, come to your call sign twice and slow. Kilo Charlie 2, Uniform Victor, Quebec.
Checking on the 6 plane.
Kilo Charlie 2, Uniform Victor, Quebec.
Kilo 5, Romeo Lima Romeo, K5, RLR.
This is 9 Yankee 4 Delta X-ray. 9Y40X, Bertram.
Bertrand always got to be stylish coming in there last. Anybody else?
KQ4 YYN. KQ4 YYN in Georgia.
We about squeezed everybody we could get. And you sound good there, Joe. Franklin, Georgia, KQ4YYN. Bertrand, my buddy, 9Y4DX. Randall, K5RLR. Fred, Reno, Nevada, K7FPS. Top of the list, Phil, Valley Stream, New York, KC2 UVQ. Good evening, Phil. What was the last piece of ham equipment you misplaced?
The last equipment I replaced was my ICOM programming cable. Little tie-in low for it, and finally had to order a new one. Should be here on Friday. KC2 UVQ.
Ooh, that one kind of blend in with a lot of others, wouldn't it? Thanks, Phil, for joining us. Fred, Reno, Nevada, K7FPS. Good evening, Fred.
Good evening, Roger, Vicki, thank you for logging, and Scott for doing the first part. Well, misplaced would be the operative word. Packing up from field day, I put my 150 watt foldable solar panel on the roof because I wasn't done packing yet. And I forgot to put it in the car. Anyway, put me down for solar panel. Thank you for the net, K7FPS. Back to you.
Now, why couldn't I find something like that while I'm out riding my electric bike? I did find a big, long tape measure. It looked like it fell off somebody's truck. I still got that. Have a good evening, Fred. Thanks for joining us. Randall, Spring, Texas, K5RLR. Long time no talk. Good evening, Randall.
Good evening there, Jeff, Vicky, and Scott. How are you doing the first part of the net? K5, RLR. Yeah, it has been a while. Been kind of preoccupied trying to get everything in order from this house fire stuff, but good news is maybe in a week or two we might be back home, but who knows. That's always a week or two, and somehow it always gets extended. Hi. As far as the question of the evening, yes. Due to the situation, I lost my Yaesu handheld for quite some time, and just found it about 2-3 days ago. So that was nice. Anyways, Jeff, much appreciated again, and hope everything is good in your world. K5RLR, back to net control.
Yep, it's always a relief when you find them handy talks. Throw a fresh battery in and continue. Bertrand, my buddy from Trinidad and Tobago 9Y4DX. Good evening, Bertrand, and what was the last piece of ham equipment you misplaced?
Well, good evening, net control. Scott, 4DX, Bertrand, and you're correct. My location is Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean. Let me say a pleasant evening as well to all of the stations on the East Coast Reflector TechNet this evening. Hope you're doing well. Well, Scott, with respect to the question, I have not misplaced anything so far. I think I have found all the stuff that I needed. So my answer to that is no, I have not misplaced anything. That's it from me. Back to you, Scott. W2BLC. This is 9Y4 here.
Thanks for joining us, Bertrand. I hope you're getting some of them nice, cool storms in the Caribbean there. KQ4YYN, Joe, Franklin, Georgia. Good evening, Joe.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, Eric and Miss Vicky that says logging. Good evening, everybody. I'm over here eating some cucumbers with little bacon bits and some cheese on them. Man, these things are good. I have misplaced, I know I didn't lose it, but I've misplaced one of my handy-talkie HT drop-in chargers. And I've got them all out of order, one or the other. Yeah, I know I've misplaced it somewhere. It's around. And ferrite beads. Those ferrite chokes you put on your coax and any electrical stuff to help cut down the inference. I've misplaced a whole box of those. And what I've lost, my wife tells me I've lost my mind because she says, you need another radio, another walkie-talkie? I said, well, it's cheap. I did lose a UV5R Mini. I bought a 2-pack, and I misplaced one of those somewhere, and I bought another 2-pack. Now, I know where that one's at. I just haven't programmed them yet. And I reckon that's it. Back to you, sir. KQ4YYN, and finally at home today in Georgia.
Home, sweet home, Georgia. You have a good evening there, Joe. Thanks for joining us this evening. And the last one on the list for the evening here is Florin, Conroe, Texas, K5YNU. Good evening, Florin. What was the last piece of ham equipment you misplaced?
Good evening, Roger, Vicky, everyone on the net. Well, I had to think about it. I still haven't found it. It's my mini SD card for the backup for my ASL node, ASL3. Still haven't found it. It's somewhere, but couldn't find it. Probably I'll make another one. Thanks for net control, everyone. Have a blessed evening. K5YNU, portable.
All right, Florin Portable made it to the checker flags. Thanks for joining us this evening, Flora, and you have a great evening. Well, that's it, everybody. Thanks for joining us this evening. This was the East Coast Reflector Tuesday Night TechNet. And on behalf of Vicky KEABKY, thanks for doing some great logging tonight and making me look good. And, well, helping anyhow. And Scott, W2BLT, good having him doing the first part this morning, or this evening. And who else do we got there? David, K4FXC. Thanks for filling in for Charles there again. David, you did good. We appreciate it. And check out tomorrow night. There's open mic night. Always a good time. And then check out Friday evenings. Always something new going on at 8 o'clock there while the youths are on summer vacation. That's it for me. Thanks to all for tuning in to the net this evening. Turn the reflector back to regular amateur use. I am KO4QMM, Roger in Central Florida. 7-3.
K8BKY, KE8BKY, K2AP. KE8BKY, KE8BKY, K2AP.
Hey, Joe, how you doing?
He just got home, actually. It was a busy day. How's your day going so far? Evening, I guess, right?
I'm pretty good. Just finished the net, obviously, but good night. So, hopefully tomorrow's an easy. I doubt her to get her wisdom teeth out, though. Definitely not a fun morning for her, though.
Yeah, that's always fun. My daughter had that done when she was little, too, and she had to be put under because she doesn't take to the dentist very well. And I heard somebody screaming while I was waiting in the waiting room. And I didn't realize that it was her. Apparently she woke up or something, but it's just a horrible experience for her.
Yeah, she's hoping they'll put her out, but I really don't think they will. It just adds to the risk.
What I always say, my daughter does not agree with me, but what I say is the most painful part of going to the dentist is when you walk out and you have to pay the bill.
Yeah, especially with the small limits insurance put on what they'll cover. I think it's anywhere between $1,000 and $2,000 for the year, depending on the insurance you've got. And if you need so much as a crown or something, that's it.
Maybe. Yeah, I have 2,000, and you can eat that up real quick, and then there's a deductible, and then they don't pay this, and they don't pay that, and you don't need this, and you should have that, and all kinds of stupid things. Oh, what are you going to do? By the way, I was reading the magazine this afternoon in the office. Really, really good. You did an excellent job as usual, Vicki.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. The day after it goes out, it's always a nice relief because then I know I've got at least a few days with nothing to do, at least radio-wise. I got stuff to catch up around the house about, but it's all good.
I bet it does. It's nice for how you've gotten it done. I was particularly interested in the article about the DIP, it's not called a grid dip meter. I have two of them, and I'm always interested in that. It's a very interesting article.
I think there was a grid dip oscillator, if I could talk, oscillator a few months ago.
I bet it from the archive, but yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's kind of a lost thing. But I used to use grid dip meters all the time, and they've kind of lost. I don't know what modern people use nowadays. Obviously, you use it to figure out what the value of an inductor is, how many microhenries an inductor is. I don't know if anybody uses them anymore. That's why that article is kind of enlightening how you could modernize your grid dip meter.
Yeah, I was just double checking something. If you want, you can go to ecr.radio/content, and it will, we can clear it off here. It'll give you any of the old magazine articles, and it gives you the links directly to them.
Great, I would definitely do that. Yeah. But I was really fascinated by it, the amount of, with the archives and everything, but the amount of volumes, the volume of articles that are there. There's details about almost anything you'd want to know, so absolutely fantastic.
I'm glad you really like it. And of course, we're always taking articles in from anybody. Always looking for a good mix of stuff.
I'll tell you, I have not written an article for magazine for maybe 40 years, so I wouldn't be a good one to do that. But I remember one time, though, the editor of the magazine said that every article you write has to be in a place where the editor can cut it at any time, and it'll make sense if he has to fit it into something. So, if one thing is dependent on another, it wouldn't be good for that particular magazine.
Yeah, to a large extent, but I think you can get away with that to a certain extent. See, I've never been into writing or editing or anything, so I don't play by the standard rules. I just kind of do what makes sense to me, and that's not necessarily industry standard.
Well, that's good to know. Yeah, this particular editor, in fact, I did a computer system for a newspaper, so I got in upstate New York, and I got a little more of an education about how editors work and how publishers work and that type of thing. Very interesting. There's a lot to it, there really is, about how they form things, how they fit articles together, and where they place things. Is it above the fold, below the fold on the newspaper? All kinds of things like that.
I'm glad I don't have folds. Just one more thing to do. All right, thank you very much, and of course it's good talking to you. I'm going to get headed back into Zoom here in a few minutes. And of course, worth a point as always. Good talking to you. I talk to you tomorrow, 7-3.
Hey, 7-3 is Vicky, and thanks for all the wonderful things you do. This is K2AP. I will be clear.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
K2IJ testing. K2IJ testing.
Kilowatt Echo 8, Victory Kilowatt Yankee KE8 VKY. This is Victor Kilo 4, Hotel Tango Echo.
HTE, I think it was. How are you doing?
Good evening to you, morning for me, next few minutes. Yes, it's, the name of this way again is Tom. We had a QSO the other day, and you helped me build up my contacts on the Quest program, which I'm very appreciated. I was just wondering if you've got a few spare minutes so we can I can get my fifth contact on the Quest program there. Over.
Sure. So you get a certificate after this one. It'll be mailed out to you. I cannot talk again tonight. It'll be emailed out to you automatically. How have you been doing?
Yeah, well, it's our shop day today. It's 11:48 of Wednesday, the 15th today. So we've just done our weekly shopping expedition, which was fun, and a little bit pleasing this week where the kids are back at school, so it was a quiet thing. Did you have a chance to have a look at that litho we discussed last time we were talking there, over?
Yeah, I pulled it up while we were talking, and those things are pretty cool. I hadn't seen them before. I've seen similar ideas, but not the from 3D printer.
Well, the signal to me is breaking up a little bit there, Vicky. It's, I don't know whether it's me, the repeater, or the big system. Don't know, but you're breaking in and out for a little while there. But anyway, it's still quite readable and a very good contact there, over.
Would have been me. I don't know why I shouldn't be breaking up, but I'm coming through Wi-Fi, so it's probably what it is.
Like a microphone problem. But anyway, not to worry. All right, mate. Thank you for the QSO. Much appreciated. I'll now log it in the logbook, and we will hopefully I'll keep on going on and meeting more people. It's been an absolute blast to get involved in this. I'm really enjoying it. Over.
One quick sec. Actually, if you hang around a second, I'm sure you'll get at least one more point if you'd like. But it's good talking to you, and I hope to talk to you again soon. KVKY73.
Sir, this is W2SAL. How are you doing tonight? Tell me a little bit about you. I wasn't kind of listening. I heard Vicky in the background there.
Good to meet you. The name is Tom, Tango Oscar Mike. My QH is the Bayside suburbs of Brisbane, Australia. I've been an amateur operator for a few years, quite a few actually. And I let it, unfortunately, I let it sit on the bench for quite a few years, and I've only picked it up again over the last 7 or 8 years. But I'm 80 years of age now, and I first got my licence when I was 19, so been fiddling with it for a while, and haven't things changed over the years there. Back to you.
that. So, you got your license a while back. Where you been all these years, Hi?
Takes over, my friend. Life takes over. When you're a 19-year-old young fella, sometimes other things distract you rather than what doesn't distract you now there, over.
Yeah, copy that. I got in the ham radio in my sophomore, junior year of high school. Couldn't learn the CW code, so I walked away from it. And just got back into it about 12 or 15 years ago. And I haven't put down the microphone yet. So everyone hates when they hear me talk. With that, I'll send it back to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, the name this way is Tom Tango Oscar Mike. Yes, I said life took over, and what really got me interested again when I found out that how far they progressed. In my early days, it was 2 meters. There was no such thing as sideband, just 2 meters FM, and there weren't any things at 3 meters. We just started into the whole thing. So. That I had difficulties learning the Morse code thing, so my license was a limited license there, over.
Copy that, Tom. We, our local radio club here, there were about 7 or 8 guys that wanted to learn CW, so I got 2 of our veterans. I think it was over like an 8 or 10 week period. They taught us stuff. And I put down my books because I had some other club issues to take care of, and I never got back into it. And I actually just started trying to relearn my call sign all over again. I says, if I can learn my call sign, then the rest should be easy, because that's the most important one to know. Go ahead.
Yeah, my biggest issue is I think I'm basically lazy. I'm looking at some of the programs where you can put your keyboard into the CW, I should say, and I know that's cheating compared to using a paddle or a keyboard, but I've got to find some way of getting into it there, over.
Copy. I understand you need some time. We've got one young lad up here. He started less than a year ago, 12 years old. And when I saw him about 2 weeks ago, he's doing 30 words a minute now. He just picked up on it real quick, and I tease him all the time that he's got to teach me how to do that stuff. At almost 70, the brain slows down, the body slows down, and the fingers can't find the push to talk all the time. Go ahead.
Exactly where you're coming from. Didn't get your call sign first up. Could you come in, please? Over.
The call sign is Whiskey 2 Sierra Alpha Lima W2SAL, and that's my name, Sal.
Okay, there we go. I've just found you on the ECR Quest logbook system, so I'm in the process of logging it now. So I'm, like I said, I'm very, very impressed with this whole system here. It's a great system. I just can't appraise it enough to find it, and everyone's so helpful and in getting things done. If every radio club around the world takes the same attitude rather than the ways some of them are now, I think we'd have more people around. The thing which I really do like is the way in which you guys involve a lot of the younger people. I'm involved with the Boy Scouts, so I don't know what you call them over there, but they're scouts, and I'm involved with them and trying to get them more involved with what you've done and what I've heard of some of these young kids on there, mate. Can only applaud your great efforts there, over.
Yeah, copy that, Tom. We have what they call the Boy Scouts over here. It's not a boys camp. And a couple of our guys, our members, are affiliated with the Boy Scouts. In fact, we just bought a new 7x14-foot twin trailer, or twin axle trailer, that we're going to start doing education stuff and STEM stuff with, going around to some of the different schools and organizations and trying to promote ham radio. So it's been a 1.5 year venture going on. We just acquired the trailer about a month ago, and we're going to try and get it all set up over the winter time, and come springtime we're going to try and promote ham radio to the younger kids. With that, I'm going to send it back to you for a final go-around. I'm going to say 7-3 because I'm getting tired. I've been up all day over here. It's after 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go ahead.
This is Victor Kilo, VK4HTE returning. Yeah, thanks for the QSO cell. Much appreciated. I was at all assisting in getting this Quest logbook system happening. I'm absolutely stoked on the idea. All right, my friend, thanks for the QSO, and hopefully have a chat another day. VK4HTE 73s.
Forward to hearing you on this frequency some other day or some other evening. We're usually standing by listening at the very least. W2SA all clear.
W2SAL, W2SAL, K2AP.
Went to lunch. Can I help you? This is his assistant.
Press your button, right. This is KT4, please. You're a hard person to get hold of. But you're popular, though, you know that. This is KT4 YYN, Joe in Georgia.
Mr. George, I got 2 of yous in there. I believe the one was Joe. So if you want to stand by for a second, Joe, I'll take Mr. Georgia. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is KT4 YYN, Joe in Georgia.
Okay, what can we do you for tonight, go ahead?
One more point is all I need tonight, over. And I'll be fine. I'll be happy. I can go to sleep and have a good night's rest tonight for that one more point. How are you doing?
You're doing okay, but you know what? If I keep you on here for a little bit longer, you just may not get that point tonight. No, not really. We'll give it to you. We're doing pretty good. Temperature up here is a balmy 79 degrees right now, and we're dying when we're outside, so we try and stay in the subterranean level where it's a little bit cooler. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I know what you're saying there. It's really warm and humid down here in Georgia, and I got in, and I had to help my boss move a couple of trucks around in the yard to fix a tire on the trailer I was driving, and they put 2 new tires on it. And on one of the flatbed trucks that hadn't been moved in about 6 or 8 months because it doesn't have a driver for it, and one of the brakes locked up, so we were trying to move it on a gravel, and it's just dragging everywhere. And but we finally got it moved around and put where he wanted it. And I made it home. I had a cucumber and some bacon bits and all that. Anyway, I won't keep you. This should be long enough for a point. I know you got maybe somebody else to talk to, and I know you're trying to get to bed, sir. I really won't keep you. This is KQ4 Wallahan.
So we had a garden salad tonight for dinner. Lettuce, tomato, and cucumber, and we topped it off with some salad dressing and some Mrs. Dashes, and it was quite refreshing. With that, I'm going to let you go. So here you log me in on the coaster side, and we'll fling over a point to you before midnight. With that, this is W2SAL standing by.
K680S looking for a point.
Hey, go ahead, Joe.
How you doing this evening? What's new in your neck of the woods?
We're actually trying to beat the heat, and I was actually trading text with one of my buddies up here on the trailer stuff. He wants to send me some more of the pictures on the one he did. He was at our meet and greet again this year, and we did a few things, and we took some of the local club staff over to his trailer and introduced them, and I let him show stuff off. So he was inquiring as to when I'm going to get going on it, and I told him probably not until after our our September Ham Fest. So we got one coming up this weekend down in Alexander, and we're going to be busy from here on through the end of September for the most part. Go ahead.
Yeah, that sounds real good. If I get a chance, if I can find it, I'll send you a picture of the trailer that the local club here has, the Great South Bay Amateur Radio Club. They got a really nice setup. I'll show it to you if I can find it. So, yeah, I'm sitting outside right now. It's a nice, cool night, but it's hot in the house. We don't have air conditioning, so I just figured I'd sit out and talk on the radio for a little while. But it's a little cloudy. I don't see any stars or anything, but very nice night out.
Happy that the last two nights, the wife and I sat out in the yard with a little fire going, and we were picking off some of the stars in constellation, and shortly, just before it got dark, you would see Venus pop out in the west, and we were watching that and then trying to figure out different constellations the last 2 days. You know, as we got older, we forgot what those things even were, so the best we could do is Big Dipper, Little Dipper, and that's about the best I got on this side, Joe. I got one more guy sitting in the trees there waiting to chit-chat, and then I'm going to get out of here for a while, so you should be qualified again for that, and when you log it, I'll get in there and confirm it. So with that, I'm going to say 7-3 for tonight, and we'll talk to you tomorrow if God keeps me on the right side of the grass. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Me too. By the way, just for your information, there's an app for your phone called Solarium, and you can just point your phone at whatever you're looking at in the sky, and it'll tell you what it is. So it's pretty interesting. Okay, so always a pleasure speaking with you, and I'm sure there's tons of other people waiting. So 73, and thanks again for the point. This is K2AP, and I will be clear.
Hey, Joe, I actually use the app Sky tonight, and that works out pretty good as far as my features go. I just want to look up and try and figure out where I'm at for the most part. So 7-3 for now. We'll talk to you later. W2S.
KY, was there anybody else that wanted to participate?
Oh, Miss Vicky. I've already got you today, but listen, you might need to wake Mr. Terry up and call him. Say, hey, YYN has got his, instead of 5 on Friday, he got his 5 on Tuesday. Over.
Gotcha. But actually, we go by UTC time. So today is tomorrow.
Comment, KF5WFX.
Wait a minute. That means yesterday was the day before then. Go ahead and comment.
Okay, this is Kilowatt Fox 5, Whiskey Fox 6. I heard Vicky in there asking if anybody wanted to participate. I just clucked into this channel. What are we participating in? Over. This is Kilowatt 5, Whiskey Fox 6, for Operator Marcus, Raton, New Mexico.
Yeah, UTC resets at 8 o'clock Eastern. What we're talking about is, it's called the QSO Quest program. Not a contest. But there's certain people on ECR that you can make contacts with. You get a point. After 5 contacts, you get your first certificate. And that automatically gets emailed to you. And you keep getting more certificates after that. They only have to be 2 minutes long. You do have to log it, but you only need your call sign and the date. You don't need mode, time, or any of that stuff. If you're interested, you can go to ecr.radio/quest.
Okay, Vicky, thank you for the info. Very good. My name is Marcus. I'm located at Raton, New Mexico. Good hearing you again. Sounds like a lot of fun. 5 WFX, stop be clear.
Yeah, it's just a way to get people on the air a little bit more. Good talking to you. Joe, back to you.
I'm good, Miss Vicky. I'm good. I just wanted to say that. That's what Mr. Terry. Anyway, I hope you have a good night. Nobody else wants to talk to you. You got to go take care of your daughter, don't you? I know that child is probably in some pain with her teeth. Anyway, I'm not going to keep you. You have a good night, Miss Vicky. And everybody else have a good night. I'm going to drink this cup of coffee and go to bed. Take you for YYN.
Yep, that's not until tomorrow. But like I said, you're welcome to log this one because at 8 o'clock, it became tomorrow. I take that back. It became today. You know what I mean? It's good talking to you. I'll be around for a little bit longer if anybody's interested. K8VKY73.
Miss Vicky, I'm glad you, because that run across my mind. She did say it's already the next day. Good gracious almighty. So, yeah, I'm going to log it. I'll do it right this second. Have a good night. KQ4 YYN.
Sign CBG, monitoring for radio check and audio check, Conroe, Texas. This is WA9ZPM outside Chicago, Illinois, over. Yeah, station over here in Chicago, Illinois, I think. I was just checking out this radio here, my little, we just hooked it up there and hooked it up to the
QYT on KT8900. I want to see if it's getting out there to you in Chicago.
Okay, well, it's coming through. There's some background hiss, but you are coming through fine, over, and you're holding it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I haven't talked on this thing for a while. You talk on it more often and keep it going there. Yeah, it's a little bitty tiny radio. You probably put it in your shirt pocket there, that's how small it is. And like I said, it's a little QYT KT8900 there. So we're going to try it out here from Conroe, Texas. And you're doing a good job yourself. You sound good there, man.
Okay, well, I gotta go here. I don't have much time. I thought I'd give you an answer, just let you hear how you're coming through, over.
Well, I appreciate it. We can go there and appreciate everything getting out there now. So we'll let you go there and take care of K5BBG. We'll be monitoring.
Hey, to be nice, if you're going to be cleared, I'm going to be disconnecting All Star here in a moment.
Whiskey, Golf, 8, Whiskey, WG8W, Indian River, Michigan. Oh, out there. Is this thing working? This is WG8W.
Yeah, this is KE5BBG down here in Conroe, Texas. That radio's working fine, man. No problem hearing you for sure.
All right, thank you very much. Now, I'm not on radio, though. I'm on Echolink on my computer here. So, but I was just trying to see if it was working. Obviously, it's working because you come back to me. So, thank you. My name is Rod. I'm up here in Indian River, Michigan. It's almost to the Mackinac Bridge, 30 miles south of the Mackinac Bridge.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to do too. Get back with excellence on my computer there, Up there. So, all right, Joe. Well, you have a good one up there in Michigan. Like I said, it's working good. So, KE5BBG. We'll be monitoring.
Okay, thanks for coming back and letting me know that it is working. So I'll check in here a little more often. I know you guys probably have nets out here sometime or another. I'll figure that out. Anyhow, WG8W, I'll be out.